I'm TJ, and I've sold over $2.5 million worth of used appliances. Today, I'm going to show you how to hit 3K, and you don't need no fancy showroom or a fleet of trucks. This is the bootstrap phase. All right, guys. So I started off selling on the side of my house in my driveway. I started off with just a couple dryers and washers. Matter of fact, I remember still uh, fixing and flipping my very first dryer. I found a red Samsung front load dryer on a pedestal. I found it on Facebook. It actually turns out it was only actually a couple blocks away from my house. I went and picked it up, brought it back, testing it, find out it needed a heating element, replaced the heating element, listed it on Facebook and Craigslist, and come to find out I ended up selling it. About 2 days later, I sold for $250. And I had put I think at the time, I think it was like a $35 heating element that I had put in it. And, so I made $220 like that. And after that, I was hooked. I was hooked. It was the quickest money I ever made. And then on top of that, when I ended up selling the dryer to somebody, they gave me their old dryer, right? So I hauled away their old dryer, and then I was able to fix that one, and then it just kept going after that. It's fixing, flipping, and this is where I started. Next to the driveway next to the house. Like I said, I started with a few things. After that, I really got really moving, and I got a lot of appliances. Some tips and tricks that we'll get into and we'll talk about in the podcast. Um, but the biggest thing is I just wanted to be able to share this with the other people that are doing the same thing. If you have a couple tools and you're at home and you fixed your own appliances, or you're looking to make some extra income, and you're just at least a little bit mechanically inclined, pretty much all the repairs you can find on YouTube. We're going to be having some more videos. I have some videos already on repair things, but we're going to be breaking them down further, and putting out a little bit better content within the next little while as this podcast is going. My main goal, guys, is I'm trying to get somebody that has fixed a dryer here and there, and I want to help you, and I want to show you how easy it is that you can make an extra $3,000 a month. All right, so if you sell 4 dryers a week for a month, that's going to give you 16 dryers. One of the weeks you're going to have to sell one more dryer. That'll give you your 17. That's going to give you $29.75. If you want to make up the extra $25 there to get you exactly at $3,000, you could charge a $5 delivery fee. So I'm telling you, you know, this is just something. This is like a hidden little gem, and I'm telling you, it can change your life fixing these appliances. I went from doing this on the side of my house to now I have a 4,000 square foot business, and we're award winning. We won best appliance store in my area. We're in Denver, Colorado, and we beat out a lot of big box stores with just having good quality products, good customer service, and all these things that I want to be able to teach you guys. That you can do. Um, One of the biggest thing is that I could tell you guys when you're first starting off is don't touch any refrigerators yet. They're heavy. It's tough dealing with the Freon. Just start with the dryers. They're really simple. There's really only about 5 things that go wrong with them, and you can fix 4 of them with a 1/4 inch nut driver and a $20 part. Um, you're mainly looking for like Whirlpool, Maytags, a Mana, or the Whirlpool style that's like a Mana, Kirkland Estates, Inglace. All those like basic dryers are going to be huge money makers for you guys when you're first starting off. It's a very common dryer. They sell really easy. A lot of people are looking for cheap appliances for rentals. They're looking for appliances for their houses too. But like I said, even if you're just starting off, um, trying to find some of those key dryers is they're pretty much all the same. These models I'm talking about, and then so they're pretty much going to have the same four most common repairs that you're going to have to do on the dryers. For the most part, the four common things is usually a heating element that you'll have to replace. A lot of times people get a dryer and say, "Oh, my dryer wasn't heating." So that's why I need to get a new one. And then of course you're going to be able to, when you sell them the new one, you're going to be able to haul away the old one from them. You're able to fix a heating element. Heating elements are pretty cheap. All you need is a multimeter, quarter-inch nut driver. That's really all you need. And the heating elements only cost. You can get them anywhere from, I don't know, 20 or 15 to probably $30. I generally get mine for about 15. I buy in bulk now, though. I would advise, as best as you can, not to buy parts off of Amazon when it comes to some of that stuff. Some of those heating elements are really cheap, kind of knockoffs. They're going to end up burning up really quick on you. It's just not going to provide the quality that you're going to want for your customers. Because when you're first starting off, too, you kind of have the leeway that you're not really building a brand yet, necessarily, and so you're trying to work on your reputation. So you definitely don't want to be, selling products that aren't that good. But it's not like you're like this huge store yet, and you're putting out a lot of bad products. So it's a learning process. As you start, you're gonna make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You're gonna figure out what works, what doesn't work. But the heating elements, there's some places that you can order them. I get mine. They come with a 1-year warranty. I haven't had any problems with them. When I rebuild my dryers, I always replace them. Like I said, if you buy them in bulk, you can usually get them down around $15. But even if you're buying, just one or two here or there to get started, it's still only about 20, $30. Most of the times when you go to fix the dryers, if it is a heating element that's bad, usually the thermostats are, for the most part, usually good. You just need to replace the heating element. One of the other four repairs, though, is thermostats. The thermostats are really cheap. Most of the thermostats cost less than $10. You can usually even get a kit of them for like $15. It has all the fuses that you need. That's another, common repair. Another one is the rollers, the pulley, or the belt, or all three of those. On the dryers that I was talking about, those models, the rollers, of course, again, like I said, I buy them in bulk, but they're still really cheap. They cost like $5 for a new set. The belts are like $4. The pulleys usually, anywhere from $5 to like $7, and you can pretty much practically rebuild a whole dryer for, about $20. Honestly, $20 to $30, you can pretty much rebuild it, with everything except for the timer and the motor. For the most part, on these models, the motors are good. You don't run into many problems with them going out or going bad. Um, the belts, you replace a belt, you put new rollers on there and a new heating element. This thing might last, 5, 10 years. You know, um, there's a lot of factors in that of what the customers are doing, how they're using it. But like I said, with my dryers, it's the way I rebuild them. We've been in business now for just about 6 years now, and I still have customers from when I was selling on the side of my house in the garage that have the same washer dryer set that they bought from me then, and they come back to me like, hey, looking for a refrigerator. Hey, I bought something 5 years ago from you guys. It's great. It's still been working great. Came back for a stove, a refrigerator, or my friend needs a washer, so I referred them. Um, and then the only other thing that you're usually going to need, for as a common repair on the dryers, is the door switch. Sometimes the door switch ends up breaking. So, anyways, those are basically the four most common repairs for the dryers, which again is why you want to start with the dryers. They're the easiest to work on. Like I said, that's going to be your moneymaker right there. So when you break it down, guys, and you do the math, if you buy a dryer for $25, you're able to get it off of Facebook, Marketplace, Craigslist, somewhere like that. You buy it for $25, spend $20 on thermal fuse and the belt, 2 hours of cleaning it. You sell it for $175. Do that twice a week, and your rent is covered. Now, all you got to do is try to scale that to 5 units a week. I know that seems like a lot, but once you start selling them and you realize how easy and how fast they go, 5 units in a week is nothing. I'm telling you, I can average 7 to 10 units in a day right now. So, I mean, 5 units a week is not that hard to scale to. And like I said, guys, the cost of most of these parts for the dryers, like a belt is like $4. The heating element, like I said, is anywhere from 15 to maybe 30, depending on where you're able to get it from. Um, Thermostats like $5 to $7. Rollers are, you like $5 on most of those brands I taught you or that I was telling you about. You start getting into some of the other newer styles like Samsungs and stuff, and it might run you up to around $20 to replace a whole set of them. There's tons of different places where you can buy the parts from. Some common retailers is places like UED, Marcone. Um, Wow, there's a couple other places too that you can register for an account, and then you have access to all the parts, same parts that the appliance service techs are doing. If you're in a service tech already, then you already have a good plug on the parts. Um, I mean, you actually got a good plug on with the clients and stuff too, because if you have some service calls that you're going out to and people don't want to pay to fix it because it's going to cost more, um, I mean, you could have, you can go to that service call now. You can say, "Hey, I have a dryer that I'm selling, that I can, replace for you for, a fraction of the cost of whatever this would be to fix it." Right? I mean, especially if you're a servicer, it just makes sense to me that, I mean, you could be selling, even if it's just a small amount, you could still be selling appliances and also service them because you already got the plug, you're already there with the customer. So it's like, hey, you can pay $300 to get this, to get these rollers fixed and maybe this heating element, or I have a dryer that I could sell you for, $200. That's comes with a 90-day, warranty, which is gonna be the same if I put these parts in there. You're gonna have a 1 year manufacturer warranty on the parts, but my labor is gonna be, a 30-day warranty or a 90-day warranty, which is, what most people offer. I don't know, unless you offer something different. Maybe it's like a year on your service. But other than that, you have about an hour, I would say, text to be able to test the appliance, make the fix, and then to clean it. Cleaning it is paramount. You got to have your appliance looking good. The better it looks, the faster you're going to sell it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, though, um, appliances for the most part sell themselves. I mean, if somebody needs a dryer, they need a dryer. They don't, I mean, there's a lot of people don't necessarily care what the appliance looks like. They just want to know if it works. I just, you have that person. I just want to know if it's going to dry my clothes. That's all I want to know. Is it going to work? But I'm telling you, if you're able to make the appliance look good, if you're cleaning it really good, you know, painting it, just really making it look good, making it look almost brand new again, it's going to sell a lot faster. You're going to be able to sell that dryer within a day or two instead of, it might take you 3 or 4 days to sell a dryer or a week to sell that dryer. I've heard some people say, when I've put out in some of these groups, hey, you could be making, $3,000 a month, sell 4 dryers a week, $175. People say, "Oh, that's a great idea," because there's not like there's a whole bunch of people selling dryers. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that's exactly what I did, and I grew my business, I grew my empire. It's exactly what I did. And you know why? Because I made my stuff look better than everybody else's. Because I made it look like you want to buy my dryer from me instead of buying some other hunk of junk where somebody just put a couple parts into it and then said, "Oh, here, I'll sell it." So I mean, you're gonna get out of it what you put into it, but the point is the cost to repair the dryers super cheap. Um, most of the repairs are under like $30. Not like it's going to break the bank. Your hardest part is going to pick up the appliance if you have a truck, or you might need to know somebody with a truck, or if you have a trailer, to go get the appliance and bring it back, and then test it, fix it, and clean it. I mean, when it comes to cleaning, I mean, it's better if you at least have like a pressure washer or a garden hose, and some soap. But I mean, even at the bare minimum, I mean, you can use a wash rag and a bucket. And when I first started, um, especially in like the colder months, I didn't really have access to a water hose. When I was cleaning the dryers, that's what I used. This is the bucket of soap and a wash rag, and I just got in there with my bare hands and got it clean, got it looking good. So I'm just letting you guys know, okay? is very, very possible to make at least 3,000 a month. I mean, at the very minimum, you sell 2 dryers a week, that's $1,400. So at the bare minimum, 2 dryers. And if you think that's too hard, start off with 1 dryer a week. That's half of the 1,400. You're still making money, and you're going to see how easy it is just to continue to go on there. So what I want you guys to do, okay, I'm going to take you on this journey. We're going to have, I don't know, I think it's like 15 to 20 episodes. And we're going to walk through how to do each thing through this. And I'm going to help you be able to go from the side of your garage to a business. If you want a business, if you're in a business, I'm going to teach you how to expand your sales. We're going to talk about all kinds of things in this Appliance Blueprint podcast, showing you how to grow and how to start this business. I'm super excited for it. So your mission for this week. First thing you need to do is to find a dryer. Find a dryer. Find it on Craigslist, Marketplace, a friend of a friend. Driving around through your neighborhood, you see one on the side of the road that says free, or somebody's selling it for $20. I want you to go pick it up. We're not necessarily going to worry about trying to fix everything about this dryer yet. Just bring it home and learn the anatomy of the dryer. Just learn just get familiar with it. Learn where the heating element is, the fuses, where the rollers are, how to take it apart, how to put it back together. That's really all we really need that I want you to do for this first part. Just get a dryer, learn how to tear it apart, learn how it works. Learn about dryers. You have 3 things to make them work. You have to have heat, airflow, and tumble. So if the dryer, so if you feel heat, that dryer is heating up, okay, then we're going to check for airflow, making sure that you have positive airflow coming out the back of it. If you have that, then you want to make sure that the dryer is tumbling. So you open the door, you can hold the switch down when you start it, make sure that the dryer is tumbling. Those are basically your three key areas. Once you learn how to familiarize with the dryer and how it works, it really makes it simple then to get to the parts where to figuring out what's wrong with it. So just based off of those 3 things, if you started the dryer and you have airflow and you have tumble, but you have no heat, we already know where to look. The heat is the problem. So it's got to either be the heating element or one of the fuses. Now there is some rarities in there where it could be certain things like uh, a switch on the motor is burnt out or something with the timer. But just for the basics, guys, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the heating element, one of the fuses. If you have heat and you have airflow, but you have no tumble, the dryer's not, the drum's not turning, you probably got a broken belt. It's that simple. If you have heat and you have tumble, but you have no airflow, then you got some type of restriction. Either possibly the blower's broke, which on most of these models that I told you guys to go look for, 9 times out of 10, there's nothing wrong with the blower. It's the vents all clogged up with lint and needs to be cleaned out. If you have the heat and the airflow, but you're hearing, on the tumble, it sounds like rocks are in there, or you're hearing loud squeaking noises. That's going to all be stuff to do with either your roller or your pulley. So all I want you guys to do, get a dryer, okay, and then get familiar with it, with how it works. And then you can research some videos on how to take it apart. For the most part, on those models I told you, there's 2 screws on the top where the vent goes in. You take those 2 screws out, you can get a little putty knife and you can pop the top open, and then there's 2 5/8 screws inside that hold the front panel on, and bam, you've already accessed 90% of the dryer. If you need to get to the back of the dryer where the heating element is, all you need is a 1/4-inch driver. You take off the back panel, you've already got access to all of the thermostats and the heating element. So like I said, there's tons of videos online for that. We're going to have some videos coming out as we're going through this too. But anyways, so that's where we're at for today, guys. So go ahead, get your dryer this weekend. Find one, start playing with it, figure it out. If you're a service guy, you already know how to do it. Great. In next episodes, we're going to start working on how to sell the appliances, where to find them, things that you want to be looking for, all that type of good stuff. So if you're already fixing appliances, or you're a servicer, then you already get a heads up. or a leg up on everybody else, which is good. Um, if you're already selling appliances and you're beyond this part, then hey, that's awesome too. But we're going to get there into those other episodes that are definitely going to help you. I promise you that. So whether you're that small business guy, or you got a big business, or you're just dabbling into, or you don't know anything about appliances, we're going to go from square one, from where I started, and then we're going to build upon that, and we're going to get you to where you need to be. Okay. I'll see you next week.